Hello everybody! Over the years, I played on so many different Arma 2 DayZ mod servers, so many I can't even count them. And yeah, way too many of them just faded into the digital abyss. That's why I'm basically on a mission now to check out the remaining servers. And yeah, I thought I should also archive that. And who is better to join me than Kain from The Last Frontier? Hi there, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing fine.
Together we played around 25 hours on this server, and yeah, let me tell you, it's been a roller coaster. It's an interesting experience here. Of course, maybe I should tell the audience where we are playing. We are on Dawn Patrol. It's a server group, basically. It started in 2005. They have 6 different servers, 5 PvP, 1 PvE server, and yeah, they did many good things and a few bad things, but before we go into our opinion of the server, I would say let's talk a little bit about the server in general. For example, what custom content did we experience? Can you remember anything which is at the top of your mind?
Well, they have done some custom POIs that is not very good. It's poorly made, actually. I think some of the missions is kind of custom.
At least I didn't experience those kind of missions anywhere else. And as you mentioned, they have a few custom towns, but it's hard to say if they are really that custom or if this is a map unique thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
As you mentioned during our gameplay sessions, some of the parts of the map are not that well developed, so it's hard to say is it really custom or not. What definitely is custom is the mission UI. It's very unique.
Yes.
Also, I think I'm not sure if we are here in the bug era or if it's really a feature, but what's also very unique is there are a lot of animals on the server. I never experienced so many animals on the server.
Yeah, no problem with food.
Definitely. Yeah, food is another unique thing here. You never have to fear food on this server because your base is regenerating your food and drink levels all the time. So every time you're home, no problem. If you die during a mission, well, you also have full food again and drink levels.
Yeah, and you can spawn directly on your body. That was I don't know. It was easy, but maybe it's necessary on a map this big.
To be honest, that's one of the aspects I'm not totally sure if it's on the different servers. I only played for half an hour the PvP server. He has the generous one. I didn't see many differences between the servers, so I don't think it's really any other way on that server.
Okay.
What's not entirely unique is, of course, they have update nodes, they have dog tags, deployable bikes, Moses, boats, advanced traders, bank. A lot of basic stuff, but a little bit tweaked.
Yeah, we had some problems with all the gear that we found. We couldn't sell it.
Yeah, that was one aspect.
We could almost not sell anything we found on the missions. But the thing we could sell, it sold for a lot of money.
It definitely did. Before we continue, I say hello to the chat. Yeah, it's a little bit an older game. It's from 2012, the mod. The game itself is 2009. And yeah, it's a huge map. If you want to look, this is the map. It's if you want to go from this corner of the map to the other corner in a helicopter, you take 20 minutes, 15 minutes. It's a long time. Walking, hours.
It's huge.
Hours. Yeah. Non-stop.
So maybe that's why we could spawn directly on our bodies when we die, because we would have to walk for hours.
Yeah. This is also very unique for a DayZ server, I would say, that you have here jets, tanks, many more helicopters than we are used to. It's a very huge arsenal of vehicles.
It's pretty militarized, yes.
Which I like to experience, but it's maybe not my preferred DayZ experience. But it's nice to have it. It's really nice to have it on the server.
Yeah, it's fun to try it. Definitely, it's not my style either.
Where I'm not entirely sure if it's a unique thing is the weapon information. If you press G for your gear, the right mouse button on your secondary or primary weapon, weapon info.
Oh, that's true. I've never seen that.
And of course, this weapon is a little bit low on information, the Beretta. But if you have, for example, a normal assault rifle, you will see what types of magazine it will eat, how loud it is, how much damage it does, with the different magazines even. That's really nice.
Yeah, that's nice. Never seen that before.
Also very rare, I would say, is that if your vehicle is destroyed, it will also drop some loot. Most of the time you will lose everything, and here you don't, which is really, really nice for the PvE environment. PvP, also good, but maybe not that important.
Maybe not. And we have seen that we don't need keys, I think. I'm not sure, but we don't need keys when we are in the base for the vehicles.
Speaking about it, I would say that's also a very unique thing here, that your base basically can maintain and unlock everything in its surrounding.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that sums more or less up all the unique things here.
Yeah, it's basically quality of life things that they have added, so it's very easy to play on this server. It's not hard survival, it's more like the server holds your hand a bit.
Definitely, and that brings us also to the next subject, how those changes change the gameplay and the exploration. I think it's made it a lot easier, which is really necessary on a map like Sourland, because it's really, really huge.
Yeah, it is. We haven't done much looting at all, because we got the starter pack that was ridiculous amount of base building items. And yeah, and then we heal and we get fed from the base, so we haven't really needed to do any looting.
No, none, and I would say that also takes a lot of the immersion out of it.
Definitely, yeah.
It also doesn't provide you many long-term goals on this server. You have, of course, the sandbox aspect. You can, start a base basically immediately. Also, you have a sniper rifle immediately if you want to, depending on what type of class you take.
Oh, yeah, that's true, yeah. I forgot about that.
But if you are not that hardcore into creating the most unique base, it's not a lot here. Our long-term goal basically was to get tanks. That was an experience I never had. It was always very, very, I noticed a few servers which had it, but it was always an end game item.
Yes.
The best thing you could get, and you would have it for maybe 10 minutes and then it's gone. And like I said, I never had it. I only saw it blow up by other players.
Yeah. Yes.
And yeah, here it's more or less the cornerstone. It's fun, but also requires 2 players at least.
Yes.
We had a lucky instance basically that we had a LAN party and we could play in a group of 3 players. So we really had a team play here and it was a lot of fun.
It was.
But even then I would say it wouldn't drive us for more than 1 LAN party. After we explored every kind of mission, every kind of scenario we could play around.
I think there should be some more long-term goals, like a Sector B type of mission or something like that. There's room for Sector B missions on this map, so...
In general, also maybe a roaming AI, some challenge which keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, something. Or just something to explore. Something special. The exploration is one of the... I mean, I've played so much that there is almost nothing to explore, but the exploration is the most fun for me.
And that was also the most fun, I would say, on this server.
Yeah.
Because we explored for, I would say, 3 or 4 hours a base location. It was interesting. Not the most fun. The most fun was definitely the group play, but it was also interesting. I really like Sourland, but like you said, it's way too big and not balanced on this server.
No, I think it's a hard map to do something good for.
I want to give maybe some recommendations for the server owner a little bit later, but one thing he could do is also some random events. But I have the feeling the server owner is a little bit burned out.
Okay, yeah, maybe.
And he just keeps the server on for legacy purposes. And he doesn't play himself. At least that's my opinion of what I read on his Discord. But before we go into that, I also want to touch the server stability, the server performance, the technical aspects. We experienced, I think, the most unique bugs we have ever seen in Arma 2 DayZ. We had no zombies, we had no base, that was very strange. We built up the base, the next restart, it was gone.
Yeah, the base disappeared. Yeah, yeah. No missions.
No missions, no trader.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. No trader. Yeah, it's a bit weird.
That was basically the first experience we had on the server.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
We couldn't find the traders. They went there. So the stability isn't really top notch here. But most of the time, a server restart will fix that.
Yeah. Otherwise, the performance has been quite good. I have very good ping to the server, and I haven't had any issues except for the Windows 11 issue that I had from the start.
That's true. That's also true.
So it's pretty good, but it's weird that traders and zombies and missions disappeared.
Absolutely. It's at some point I would even say we had in our mind, should we continue playing here or should we drop it?
Yeah, we gave it some time.
Yeah, definitely. 25 hours is a fair time, especially as a group.
I'm happy we did it. We had some fun.
I also like that the server owner is still kind of maintaining the servers. He's also responding to problems in a kind of timely manner between 24 hours.
That's good.
He also did a good job on the rule book, the additional information, stuff like that. He did a good job there. What I didn't like is that he has a website, he has a Discord, but those are not only barren in information, but also gated behind a special kind of website called guild tag. You have to registrate there to access the Discord. And Discord is already gated enough, so you have another gate before you can enter it. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's not very good, no.
And coming to the last aspect of the server itself, the population, the highest we have seen was maybe 5 people.
Yes.
Including us.
And we were...
Most of the time it was just us.
Yeah, we were 3. Yeah.
Also, I don't want to incite any players on this server. Don't get me wrong, guys, here. But I find it very strange, and I guess Kain also find it a little bit strange, that there is no chatting. If somebody is entering the server, there is no hi, there is no, I would like to do this mission.
Yeah.
Everybody is by himself. Most of the time they just stand in their base and, yeah, craft, I guess, or...
Yeah, yeah. The radio silence is is real on this server, yeah.
But on the positive side, definitely, when we asked for help, we got it immediately.
Yes, that's fine.
So I would say definitely for a new player, it's a nice environment. Especially you get a lot of the stuff very easy, very quickly. You already have 50,000 coins on the bank, so you can buy everything you want. But yeah, going from the new player aspect directly into the overall enjoyment, I would say for our 25 hours, it was really nice.
Yeah.
It was a good experience. It was the exploring, the missions, the tanks. It was also challenging. The missions were sometimes really challenging.
Yep.
But the spawning directly at your corpse mechanic basically made them again too easy.
Yes, that's true. Exactly as I thought, yeah.
And even though I really like the mission UI, it also made it a little bit too easy because you can basically smell the enemy. He's 100 meters away.
Yes.
Which is maybe sometimes necessary because the AI in Arma 2 is really hard and bad at the same time. They hide in a bush and they will smell you kilometers away.
Yeah, they are cheating.
I also think that the group mechanic is also a little bit improved, I would say. You see the distance, you see them on the map, you see even if they are engaging.
It's very clear, yeah.
It's clear, exactly. It's not the best I've ever seen, but it's very clear and very informative.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, sadly, that's more or less all of the positive things. It's enjoyable. Don't get me wrong. It's not the worst experience in life to play on the server. Definitely no.
No.
It's just not my preferred style of game. It's different.
Yeah, I think it's very good for new players. If anyone wants to start to play now, this is a good server to start on.
Let me rephrase this maybe. It's good to experience everything. It's not good to experience the traditional DayZ experience.
No, that's true.
And by that, I don't mean the original one in the sense of the walking simulator where you don't have a car, a vehicle. The modded version of the mods, basically, the Epoch, the Origins, where you have so much stuff to do. You can have it here.
Yeah, and you get sick and hungry and thirsty, and you have no vehicle, and you have you have too much stuff in your backpack and all that stuff.
Yeah, and that's also one thing which maybe that was a bug. That could be a bug, but when we started, we didn't experience or we didn't find any vehicles. Remember? It took us a while to find another vehicle or to get to the trader.
Yeah, maybe it's because the map is so big that, I mean, if they have the regular spawn of vehicles, like 50 vehicles or something, there will be very few vehicles on the map because it's so big.
It could be a kind of bad luck, yeah.
Yeah.
I basically mentioned a lot of the things I wish they would have improved on this server. One thing I didn't mention is the server doesn't give you any information if a player is connecting or disconnecting.
No, I think that should be on. I like that on a server.
Exactly. It's always so strange to look at the player list and see, oh, there are 2 other players. None of them is talking. Of course, the information is useless, of course, but it would be nice.
Yeah. Do we know? I don't remember. Do we see a text message when somebody dies?
Yes.
We did, okay.
I ignored it most of the time, or my brain ignored it most of the time. But looking through our videos, there was always a text message. Who killed whom?
Yeah, and we died a lot.
Yeah. Most of the time, one of us sacrificed himself to make the mission possible. Because the AI is just hiding in some random bush and you can't find him. One thing also we didn't touch is the spawn and despawn rate of the missions. It's way too quickly.
Yeah, it was way too quickly because the map, also, again, the map is so big that we couldn't make it in time.
True, but also if you're just crafting something in your base, you wouldn't have the time to respawn fast enough because you need a right landing location, then you scout, and before you shoot the first bullet, the mission is despawned. It's even on Origins or on NAPF, it wouldn't be good, that mechanic.
Exactly. Well, we said it before, but the mission contained a lot of rewards, but almost nothing was worth getting because we couldn't sell it. But some of the stuff was so incredibly much worth, so I guess it made up for it. But it was very easy to make money overall. I think the missions were pretty standard Epoch missions, but I felt it was tweaked somehow.
They felt unique.
Yeah, it felt kind of unique, but also kind of the same. Some of the missions had the same names, so I guess they might have tweaked them a bit. And the rewards were different.
And talking about rewards, not only I was annoyed that we couldn't often sell our stuff, I also was a little bit annoyed that the hero trader is so crappy.
Yeah.
Not only by the things he is offering and which he is buying, but also he has additional rewards for completing a mission, and you get for a helicopter 200,000 coins for selling it. And for additional reward you get 200 coins for completing the mission. and 50
Yes.
humanity, so nothing
It
basically.
was kind of ridiculous, but it was a good idea.
Yeah, definitely.
But it was not very well executed. It was like, okay, it was like 100 more humanity or 200 more coins, but it was a good idea. I give it that.
Also, the dog tags are a good idea. I like it in general.
Yeah.
But they are worthless in money or in humanity on this server. So yeah, why bother? Most of the time we two played just by ourselves on this server. Just for the LAN party we had a third player and he was totally new to this server and he wanted basically to collect everything because this is the typical DayZ mechanic. You have to collect everything and if you can't sell it, it's just annoying that you have to come over that impulse.
Yes.
And the last thing which really annoyed me, and I guess it also annoyed you, was when you were in a vehicle and you wanted to get out, you used your scroll wheel and you sometimes couldn't find the option to get out because not only is there a lot of different options, but also the standard format where it should be, it's not there basically. It's different. Yeah, it annoyed me so much.
It was so many options. It was crazy. And the thing where everyone who died dropped their clothes.
I had this same thought. I didn't write it out, but I also thought, holy cow, that was annoying. And it cost us both so many lives.
Yeah, because you try to loot yourself, but you just found clothes.
Yeah, but you're of course still there. You are seeing your body, you're seeing your stuff, but on top of your body is the skin and you have to take the skin to get to your body.
Yeah, that was annoying.
But yeah, that's the end of my shaming the server list. In general, I would say the server is definitely a good server for the target audience. Sandbox user, definitely also new players who want to play around. Maybe players who also have a friend. Because if you want to buy a tank on this server, you need 12 million credits, which is a lot, even on this server.
Yes.
But if you have it, or if you get it from a mission, it's a lot of fun with a friend only.
Yeah. Yeah, playing is a good word for it because it was a lot of quality of life mods that made things easier. The cost of dying was basically nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah. We had some fun. I normally don't like military servers, but it was fun this time.
And it was, how to phrase it, kind of easy going because we spawned so much into the game again, into the action.
Yeah.
And even if you forget something at the base, it's so easy to get there again.
Yeah, it was.
But like we said, the long-term goal is a little bit hard justifying playing on this server.
Yes. It is.
So in general, my recommendation for the server owner is basically to polish a little bit the stuff and make some either random events or random AI on the map. That would improve the quality a little bit already. And of course, sorry to say it, Mr. Admin, but playing on the server would also help. I know I have the feeling you're a little bit burned out here, but maybe a LAN party once a year and advertise that would be good.
Yeah.
And I, of course, see again a combat pig. Like we mentioned, many animals on this server.
Yeah, there was a crazy amount of animals.
But yeah, from me, I would say that's it. Do you have any points?
No, I had a lot of fun. Maybe it wasn't mainly the server. Maybe it was the company that was great, I guess. But I had a lot of fun, yeah.
That's very kind to say. But of course, you're right. I think that the group dynamic also makes a game better, even though it's not the best experience.
Yep.
Also, one good thing here is there isn't really an entire game-breaking bug that you can't continue. We experienced a lot of strange bugs, but nothing which stopped us for long.
No.
Well, then I would say that's it for this review. Leave us a comment, tell us what you think about the game, and of course, play the game. Until next time, Episode R is signing off.
Bye-bye.